Welcome back, everyone. Today I bring you game 1 of my match against Blitz-War in the FOB Monthly tournament. We are on airport, as you can see, and I was able to play second UK again, which I was very happy about, not gonna lie, because it's a very strong division. He picked 4th Mot-Schützen. I am not sure whether this was a good idea or not. The advantage is that he can kind of counter my forward deploy with his FS Jäger. So that's why I couldn't use my SAS super aggressively. So from this point of view, it definitely makes sense. But 4th Mot-Schützen will just have such a hard time scaling throughout the game. And also 4th kind of relies on helicopter play, and it doesn't really rely on it, but considering the point allotment in the division, it's kind of incentivized to play around with their helicopters, and against second UK, that's a very bad idea. Yeah, we will see. They have obviously like more ATGMs and better ATGMs with this 2,800 meter bastions than I have, but my tanks are just so much better. And with the Challenger Mark II buff, I also have 6 tanks plus 2 CV tanks, which are actual MBTs and not just old T-55s that are upgraded. So yeah, I wasn't really worried, but the thing is, I just didn't know this matchup at all because basically nobody plays 4th right now. So yeah, but I thought it would be interesting anyway because it would be something new. You can see I'm starting with 3 Gazelles to get some recon information early on where he is going with his forward deployed. I'm kind of risking, or not risking, but I know that they will most likely die because he gets forward deployed AA. I mean, I kind of get forward deployed AA as well with the SAS, but I mean, he gets like the Strela 2Ms forward deployed, which you can take a double or even triple wet. I don't really like taking a triple wet because you then only get 6 of them. Some people do. I think double wet with 8 of them is enough, but that's neither here nor there. So most likely those will die, but they will give me the critical information on where he is heavily deploying. I was assuming that he would try to play around this town as well, because that's, I think, what makes the most sense on airport, especially because at least I think that his side is better, because it's a lot easier for him to get into Papa than it is for me to get into Zulu, because Alpha, that is, Zulu is this one. It's actually very easy for me to get into Zulu, but then Alpha is just a big giant open field, while if you're his side and you fight for Papa, you can get in here pretty well. It's a lot of open field, but you have the buildings here as support. You can get from those buildings to those buildings, and then you have the buildings here and the forest patches, so you know, it's a bit better, but to be fair, I have the way better division, so this shouldn't be a big problem. And you can see I'm deploying the SAS fairly aggressively towards the center, into here and here. I want to get control over the town so that he will have a rough time getting back into Zulu, and then maybe I can still facilitate a push into Alpha from the town here. Or if I don't take Echo early on, I can obviously take the pole positions here to support my attack into Echo and the airport itself. One SAS is going there, just in case I can get some favorable engagements together with Milan 1, though I'm not sure whether I will leave it there. One command going for the +2 sector. You really want at least to have one command in the early game to capture your +2 sector. One scout, or 2 scouts for Foxtrot and for Bravo, so you can see a very light deployment. Also at Milan 1. Milan 2 going into the tower here. Will be very useful in case he does some early BTR rush, but if he concentrates his mechanized infantry around here, he could also be using BMPs and T-55s, though I would assume that early on you want to use more of the BTRs because they're just faster in the front line. And together with some ATGM support, you don't really need tanks here, because you would want the tanks for the fire support, but you will already have the fire support with the BTRs. BTRs are very strong, by the way. They're exceptionally good at the fire support role, in my opinion. I don't think they need to be nerfed or something, because like, they're still very brittle and they don't do anything else beside that. But for the road, they're very, very good. So do not underestimate them. And well, the SAS obviously don't have anything to counter the BTRs. Yeah, no, correct. The BTRs at long range. And together with the helicopter, that will be some nice ATGM support. Also started with a fighter to, first of all, just protect the Milan helicopter, but also in case he wants to try some early airplay, maybe. It's not really good against helicopters because, as I said in one of the last videos already, it doesn't have a gun, the British Phantom. So you only have your heat seekers against helicopters, and that's not really that good. But yeah, anyway, here I was still thinking about my deployment, because as I said, I was really unsure what exactly to do. You can see I removed the Milan 1 here now, because I mean I'm gonna go very light on the right hand side anyway, so maybe I don't need it there. But then I was like, yeah, I still want it there, and but I want something more for the left hand side, except for just SAS, something to actually back up the push even early on. Doesn't have to be much, but just something. So
yes, Captain.
One armored rifles in the Warrior. The Warrior will be some very nice fire support, and also has an ATGM. Still had the Milan 1 for the right hand side. Then I decided to just leave out the Milan 1 here. And then you can see 2 Foxes, because I had like something 160 points left. I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do with that? And okay, they cost 70 points each, so I can afford them. And I will just try to drive them around the flank. Nobody defends their flank here anyway, and I can get into a spawn and do some good damage if I get through. He starts with some MiG-21s, but then he goes for the Gazelle and turns away, even though I guess he must have seen the Phantom, so very bad micro by him in this case. Phantom gets on the 6 of the MiG-21, kills of 1. Go for the other. In this case it will be a head-on, so he might kill me off, but I mean I killed 1 already, so that's fine by me. Actually doesn't kill me. So yeah, killed off 1 recon helicopter as well. A bit painful. Doesn't chase me here as well. Again, very weird. Yeah, here get instantly sniped by the Strela 2M. Gazelle here though spawns a lot of infantry, so this was very nice, because then I knew, okay, there's a lot of investment going into here, which means that I should have a good time getting some favorable positions in the center and the left. Deployed my SAS early because I didn't know exactly where his units were here. I knew that this Strela 2M was here, so I know that the other forward deployed is already in here as well. That's why I deployed them earlier. SAS on the far left also in position. Put the Saxons on a order to drive around a little bit further away from the city, so that they can't get sniped by the ATGM that's somewhere in here. And yeah, big push coming in here. Milan 1 was a bit late to snipe off the FSC guy in here. Scout was also a bit too late. MiG-21 came in and bombed something. Yeah, I think it bombed the SAS, but it didn't kill it and died in return, because I mean there's 4 SAS here. So that wasn't the best thing to do. Push the SAS forward here, and he actually had a FS Einsatzgruppe here, but he didn't push them 1 building further forward for some reason. Don't know why. And yeah, well, the FS Jäger are now going to delete the units here, and there's basically nothing I can do against it. Reroute the Rover CP to the far right though, because he had all his deployments in here and it was all infantry, so I knew that even if he starts pushing towards here, I have some time left. Deal with the infantry here. Here's the PKMs, which was very weird, because this division... Are they forward deployed? Yeah, they're forward deployed. I guess that's why he took them, but I mean this division also has great launchers. Yes, they're not forward deployed, but they're just infinitely better than the PKM. And if you want something forward deployed, take the SPG. The SPG-9 is also a lot better than the PKMs. Even though in this case, I mean, he's winning here because it's like 2v1. But otherwise, like, they're just not... They're okay because they're very cheap, but the problem is that 4th Mot-Schützen doesn't have the base activation slots. In my opinion, you really need to make the most of it. MiG-21 comes in, gets hit by 1 SAS, but the other SAS all miss. That was giga unlucky, but hey, what can you do?
Enemy right up. Get in formation.
It do be like that sometimes. Though I guess in this case the PKM is like not the worst, because SAS only has 2 machine guns. So I could have pushed over the open to engage the PKM, but then I thought, I don't need to do that. I can just retreat them repair them and then move in. Hit the SAS behind the building here, because yeah, then again, as I said, 2v1 was a really, very bad idea. And yeah, so Foxtrot is completely lost now. I call in the last gazelle I have to just control the open so that he doesn't sneak anything into my backline. I still have the scouts here, so he can't be sneaking around there anytime soon. More units coming into the left-hand side. You can see also some air mobile troops came in with the Lynx rockets. And yeah, also waiting for supplies to repair the SAS finally, and also for a command, because I rerouted a rover to the right-hand side, because I actually didn't think that I would get into Zulu that early on. It was a bit surprising to me. Rerouted the warrior to the right, or further to the right, because I wanted to get rid of the PKM there. Also 2 more armored rifles with warriors coming in, so the 3 warriors here will be very helpful. Lynx rocket finishes off the Forgo ATGM. Also Terrier Pioneer came in for some CQC combat. Will be very helpful in the building clusters here, and then also maybe here if he wants to get in there as well. Oh god, sun came out. I'm a gamer, I don't like the sun.
This is Red 2.
I like the sun, it's just, you know, it's too hot and it makes it hard to see stuff. Yeah, also calling in a Milan 1, so that I can really like make it hard for him to get back in here. Because he can still do like T-55A spam, for example, if he doesn't want to pay for the upgraded, more expensive T-55s. And if you don't have any ATGMs, I mean, that's a pretty decent call to make. Just trying through the Saxons for some basically free recon. I mean, this one is out of ammo anyway, and this one is almost out of ammo, so no reason to just keep them back. And you can see the Foxes have been able to drive through. Oh, that was very, very nice. I was so happy that they were able to go through without being noticed. And moved up the Lynx Hellarm as well. Milan 2 also moving up already. Missing a recon squad in the center right now. I think there is, yeah, one is already on the way. Also, finally, the command on its way to secure the left-hand side, because he's at the +2 tick now. Saxons indeed find some infantry here, so that's very nice for me, because now I know that he will most likely try to go to here. At least it's very unlikely that he would just drive over the open with the infantry. That wouldn't make a lot of sense. Armored rifles trying to get into position, but there's actually a lot of infantry squads here. But the warriors doing some very nice fire support. ATGM firing at them from the airport. Very unfortunate. SAS here also died. But you can see already reinforcements came in here. I haven't unloaded them yet because I was busy. And yeah, now the Foxes are in the backline. Killed a coup already. That was super nice. Armored rifles in the center have died. Also, one warrior was sniped by the Forgo here. But overall, I mean, I have pretty much secured this position. Once the SAS are repaired, I mean, I will be able to get the infantry out here, no problems at all. Here again, using an air mobile for basically no reason, because his well, it's an SPW, not a BTR, but it's basically the same. Moved up. Getting some more kills in the backline, killed a Strela 2M and the BRM, but the BRM killed a Fox in return, so that was a bit painful. But I mean, just the coup alone almost paid off the 2 Foxes already, so, you know, it was really a good investment. Rerouting the Foxes again, Milan coming in, needed more supplies to repair the SAS and the Lynxes here. Yeah, also finally unloaded the armored rifles and got the air mobile scouts into a good position here, moving up the warriors and the armored rifles. Warriors here also doing some nice fire support. Was a bit too aggressive with the Milan 2 here, gets sniped by the Strela 10M. With the air mobile into those buildings, because as I said, I knew that he had infantry coming in. B-21 getting sniped by the SAS again, by the way. It did get its bombs off on the building though, unfortunately, so scouts and Milan 2 are dead. But that's now already the second MiG-21 HE down, so yeah, only one to go. But yeah, because I knew that he had infantry here, I got the air mobile in position early on. I really need to put the Terriers in position there as well now. And yeah, Fox in the backline still being an absolute menace. Killed the recon BMP-1. Unfortunately, he unloaded the Mot-Aufklärer just in time. A bit unfortunate. Would have been really, really nice to get them in the transport. MiG-21 gets a bombing run on the air mobiles, but doesn't even kill it. Unfortunately, the SAS were, I think, moving or were out of range at the moment. A bit unlucky. Trying to push the warriors forward to get some nice kills, but here I'm again missing some recon. So I'm not really seeing anything. Armored rifles engaging the PKM. You can see, I mean, the battle here is already going a lot better for me. So, yeah. Especially 20 points. It's like, I really don't know whether they're worth it. I would just push my warriors forward aggressively, because I didn't see any TGM firing at them. And get destroyed out on them. Very nice. They missed it. The Jeep. Bro. He got a concourse in here finally, and he routed the Fox. So it died. Obviously would have been cooler if I could have kept them alive for a longer amount of time. But honestly, they already did a fantastic job in his backline. Also, you know, just psychologically. So I was perfectly happy with that. Move the warrior here forward aggressively. Noticed the ATGM too late. Tried to smoke off, but yeah, it was too late. Got hit. And, well, yeah, as I said, SAS here pushed forward and is now just completely cleaning out those Mot-Schützen. Nothing you can do against that. Another Milan 2 arrived. New scout squad on his way already as well. Pushed the Lynxes forward because I think I saw something in the forest line before that. And, yeah, it was just an SPW. Got it killed. MiG-21 comes in, strafes one of the Lynxes, but the other one survives. So it gets out. Also, finally investing into some AA now, to protect myself against the air spam, because it really seemed like he was, you know, committing on the air spam. MiG-21 comes in and unfortunately finishes off the Lynx. The SAS here were moving towards the airport. I was rerouting them on a move order, so I quickly stopped them to maybe get some shots off on the MiG-21. They do, in fact, get a few shots off and all miss. Again, like, bruh, what the fuck is this RNG? Challenger Mark II comes in. There is a FOB in here, but you can see the FOB like literally does only 1 damage. And I'm moving up my armored rifles further so that they can also just engage the FOB, and then it will have no chance. Misses and stuns. Still, by the way, super cool. It does 1 damage, but it's still enough to hit once and miss. Like, and miss once to stun a tank. It's so dumb. It's, yeah, it's just... yeah, well, I was very lucky that you only had 1 ATGM here, because like if you would have already had 2 ATGMs here, Challenger Mark II would have never gotten in. And I could just drive past the Conquerors here because they weren't in the best position to catch off tanks coming through here. But for example, if he would have had ATGMs also in here, which I don't know why he didn't do that, because he had complete control over this, would have been in a very bad position. Finally got the Terrier Pioneers, but should have moved them up 1 more building so that they can actually use their satchels, you know. Challenger Mark II smokes off because there is actually now an ATGM in there, and I'm still missing the recon. And the SAS that I was moving towards the airport facility, I rerouted them once again because I noticed that there was a lot of infantry coming in here and basically nothing in the airport itself. Like, so I thought, you know, I might as well use them where they're actually useful right now. Challenger and Warrior being some nice fire support, but 1 Warrior is now already down to the ATGM. I think they were out of smoke already.
Drones, get down.
Get them out in time though, so that they don't get hit again. Rapier FSB now also in position, and a second and a third already on the way as well. So this area here will be very hard for him to get in again with his air spam, and also track Rapier on next to the airport. Plane is on its way. It's a cluster MiG-21, MiG-27. Sorry, it's a MiG-23 actually. So many MiGs. Hard to remember all of them. Yeah, it's a MiG-23BN cluster, high altitude bomber. But as you can see, like, I wasn't able to dodge in time, and it still didn't kill the tank. Also evaded all the Rapiers, so that wasn't nice. But yeah, it's very underwhelming. That's why I also didn't start evading in time, because I really didn't think anybody would still take this plane. It's so bad. But apparently people still do it, so, you know, I had to be ready. We're doing that too, and the scouts forward here into the forward skyscraper, so that I can basically control the whole open here with the 1 ATGM. His isotoscope gets into the building though. MiG-21 HE coming in, that's the last one. And it should die. Yes, it does in fact die. So now all those HE bombers are dead. Like MiG-21 HE bombers. You can air spam with 4th quite well. Problem is just that, again, the slots are very expensive. So you will have to sacrifice a lot of other slots to actually do an air spam build with 4th. And yeah, against 2nd UK it doesn't make a lot of sense. I have Rapier, FSB-1s, Phantoms, and SAS, so not the best idea. And here, I mean, I wasn't really worried about this area because I have the Gazelle that sees everything he wants to do, brought in a Milan 2 here as well as some additional support, and 2 armored rifles also arrived, as you can see. But I have this sector under control, which puts me on a +2, so I was honestly pretty fine. I need to repair the Challenger now, because it wasn't killed, but it was fairly severely damaged. More air mobiles came in, because I really needed some quick reinforcements, and this is, you know, one of the big advantages of 2nd UK. The helicopter infantry just makes it so easy for you to keep the tempo up, because your reinforcements arrive a lot faster on the front line than for your other divisions, but you still have the mechanized aspect of IFVs and main battle tanks, so it's so hard to play against. And you also have forward deployed with the SAS that also then have AA, and because they're max vet and special forces, the AA is very good, like a 71% accuracy. It's pretty insane. But yeah, well, tries to move his infantry over the open. That was not a good idea. Gets a Mot-Schützen in here. Actually, don't know who wins in a Mot-Schützen against armed rifles. Yeah, I mean, it should be the Mot-Schützen because they're 1 more man and they're resolute. Weapon performance should be. It's even a bit of a worse for the British. Yeah, so Mot-Schützen definitely win. What's the price on them? Yeah, they are also 10 points more expensive, so you know they should win. But I can just drive my tank around the corner and provide some fire support. So yeah, I was also floating a few points, so I'm calling in a tank now. Called in a howitzer as well, or even 2 howitzers because I could afford the big howitzers even. Yeah, that's kind of what I meant when I said 4th Mot-Schützen isn't like doesn't scale so good into like even the mid game. There's pretty much nothing he can do at this point. Like he can try to like T-55 spam, but I have ATGMs and IFVs and MBTs and ATGM helicopters and better aircraft than he has. Which, to be fair, he has good air defense, so wouldn't be the best idea. But everything else, aggressively speaking, there's not much left for him to do. He can use his artillery, but even there, the 4th Mot-Schützen doesn't get the best artillery, and especially you really have bad availability spots or activation slots for their artillery. So yeah, he's just really trying to get into here because that's like the best thing he can do. I can't really use the IFVs or tanks very well in this area, but I can still use my SAS and my air mobiles and my helicopters here very well. Pushing over here, also just a death sentence. The 1 Milan 2 is literally stopping him, and then if he gets in, there's 2 SAS waiting for him. And the fire support from this area as well. So yeah, very weird choice by him in general to take 4th Mot-Schützen. Tries to counter battery my howitzer, but yeah, no way you're gonna do anything with that. Pioneers here, I mean, good choice, but as I said, they just stand no chance. In this case, also just against the massive infantry I have now. Milan 1 doing some good job. Now in this case, no, actually didn't. I thought it might have scared away his T-55, but I guess he just moved it back. Because it did, don't know why, because yeah, he actually moves his T-55 back and the howitzers won't hit anything here. But now I am over 200 points ahead, and there is like no way for him to get back in, at least for the moment. I see some infantry coming into the airport sector, and it's not very well defended at the moment. You can see the armored rifles here is getting fucked up by the T-55 and the BRM, because they didn't have ATGMs here at this point in time. I kind of forgot about them. But it doesn't really matter that much because there's a 2nd Challenger Mark II coming in. Weird path, how it took. Okay. Yeah, tried to kill the BRM. Want to get rid of this exceptional recon here was, you know, kind of annoying. But then I decided, you know what, let's put 1 howitzer on the BRM and 1 howitzer on his howitzer. Let's see whether I can counter battery him. And let's see whether this works. He finally pushes up his SPW on the right-hand flank, his recon SPW, starts engaging my scouts that can't fight back. MiG-23 cluster coming in again. Very juicy target here, but, well, I saw it in time this time and drive the Challenger out. It gets a one-shot by something. Don't know whether 2 missiles here hit at the same time or what happened. But, yeah, kills off the almost empty supply helicopter. I mean, that's unfortunate, but that's really not the biggest loss. And especially the Challenger Mach 2 survives on, like, what, 6 HP? Yeah, so the higher altitude, like high altitude cluster bombers are like okay if you use them in conjunction with other stuff, or against like tanks that are already hit, or an enemy that has like all of the stuff in one line. But other than that, they're just really not that great. I finally noticed that the SPW here moved forward, so I quickly retreated the scouts. I didn't want to lose my recon information here. I also have 2 tracked rapiers up, which is nice because there's a Mi-8 coming in. So very well done by me. Finally remembered to buy an AA before my enemy started to airspam me.
Yes, Captain.
Warriors should have absolutely no problem dealing with the SPWs. Mi-8 came in. I wasn't able to engage him with the tracked rapiers because there was like something blocking the line of sight, I guess. So Phantom came in, got a good hit on it, but only one. And yeah, that's where, having a gun would have really helped. But the tracked rapier now finally gets a line of sight and kills it off very quickly. Also don't know why he would take the Mi-8 in 4th, like you have endless amounts of Mi-24s that are still better than the Mi-8. Phantom gets hit and has to retreat, but yeah, that's okay. I mean, it did its job. Warriors a bit overextending, but no, it doesn't get a kill on the SPW. And now he just brings in a bunch of Mot-Schützen in the BMP-1. I'm not sure whether the BMP-1s are worth it in 4th, because you can't get a big amount of BMP-1s are nice for supporting better tanks, but you don't have better tanks to support the BMP-1s with. You only have the T-55s. So I don't think they have a particularly good use case in this division. I'd rather take more of the Mot-Schützen in the SPWs and the BTRs. And just spam them. Like BTRs obviously won't do anything against tanks, but they will still do a lot of damage against infantry. And the BMP-1 doesn't do a lot against tanks and doesn't do shit against infantry. So it's like the worst of both worlds. It's nice in 7th Panzer, for example, if you can spam those together with the T-72s, for example. That works. But you don't have T-72s in 4th. Challenger Mach 2 gets a really nasty hull crit by the T-55. Yeah, well, that's basically all it can do. It can crit my Challenger and then I retreat it, repair it, and get it back into the fight. And that's it. Also, he isn't using like his advantageous position here at all. I guess maybe he was afraid to, I don't know, reinforce through here or something, because he was afraid that there would still be some foxes left there, but I mean, there weren't. I know that's the psychological impact of backline action, which is why I love it so much. And don't let anybody tell you that like backline action is like whatever, dishonest or not gentlemanly to play. Like fuck that. It's a game that we play to win, and if you can't protect your backline, that's not my issue. Challenger Mach 2 here also takes quite some beating. Kill off both of his Concourse vehicles though, so that's a very nice kill. Bought in 2 Lynx Hellarms. Actually 3 of them. Oh Jesus Christ. Didn't really realize that there were so many. The Lynx rocket gets hit by the Strela 10M. It instantly switches target. Oh my god, this target priority is so dumb. Yeah, and then it just proceeds to miss all its missiles on the other Lynx, so both of them survive. Yeah, that's just stupid. Push the SAS forward against his Einsatzgruppe. Those are also special forces, but I mean it's 2v2 and the SAS is just better. Einsatzgruppe is almost dead. You also need to take the Kampfschwimmer, in my opinion. The Kampfschwimmer are so nasty in close quarters because it's like the Einsatzgruppe, just that they have different machine guns, but they also have a satchel. So you really want to take both of them. And then you also take the Warrior for some fire support here, and yeah. Again, tried to get into Milan 2, and it again gets sniped because I was too aggressive with it. Yeah, should have really deployed it just back here, I guess. Especially because I knew that he had the Strela 10, and because I was shooting at my Lynx, I just kind of hoped that I would be able to get in time. But yeah, fun fact, I wasn't able to get in time. Let's see whether the house actually kills something here. I'm not sure what they do. Oh yeah, they do. They killed the T-55. I also put in the towed howitzers because why not? I had so many points left, and I didn't really want to like stack this area even more with challengers because I mean there's already 2 challengers here. Now also 2 warriors. I wasn't paying attention right now because I was targeting my artillery, and yeah, during this time the SPWs stunned my challenger and killed it off. Not very well done by me, especially because it's a challenger command. Try to push forward my warriors, but I mean that's not really a good idea because the Conquerors outranges me and does more damage. So yeah, that wasn't smart. Try to reroute the Hell Arm to engage the Conquerors vehicles. But then I remembered that, you know, I have those things called planes. I can use them. And while the Phantom was flying around here, like, there wasn't... It was hit once. But there was, like, a lot of AA here or something. So I should be able to get through with the Jaguar and get a hit in. By the way, the Recon and the Mina 2 here got killed again, this time by howitzers, I think. And yeah, in fact, the Coup misses. Jaguar gets through. Kills 2 of the SPWs. Like, point-wise is obviously not a good trade. But, like, considering what tools he has even available to counter me, that's actually a very good kill. I'm bringing the AG bomber to quickly get rid of the F-Sieger here, because why not? Tries to counter battery my towed howitzers, but I'm moving them as I usually do, because microing your howitzers is very important. MiG-21 coming in isn't even able to finish off the Hell Arm. And yeah, that's no chance against the very saturated AA net here. He is still trying to get back in here, but yeah. Also, by the way, you can see BTRs or SPWs in this case, but it's the same. Doing a lot of damage even against infantry in cover, but yeah, you need like something like tanks as well in this case, and not only SPWs, because now the Challenger drives forward and will just be able to get rid of all of those. Also targeting the artillery because I saw that he had his infantry or like unloaded them all in those buildings there. So he has the choice to either move forward into my fire support and my infantry, or like stay in the buildings and just die. Howitzers on the forest line on the BRM, but it's already dead anyway. Phantom circling around in case he comes in with another cluster bomber, because I think I only killed 1 of them, so he should still have 1 of them left. Finally called in some infantry ATGMs, like other than the Milan 2 that got killed in the helicopter. And I mean the Milan 1s should be more than enough to deal with the SPWs and the SPW Conquerors. T-55s will be a bit of an issue, but the T-55s can be easily finished off by the Hell Arms or the Challenger Mark II. I think are more tanks also coming in finally, or yeah, not yet. But I mean, yeah, because the deck is so dumb, I still have 4 Challenger Mark IIs left, even 5 together with the Challenger Mark II command. It's just absurd. Again, tries to counter battery me, but literally no point. So I decided, you know what, let's try to counter battery him. Maybe he doesn't move his artillery. Because it really also seemed like he didn't move it, from what I saw from where he was firing. Again, see a juicy target here, which will force him to either move out of the buildings, or stay at the buildings and die to artillery. Milan 1 snipes off a Conquerors, moving over my warrior and my challenger to engage all the infantry here. Lynx rocket also doing a fantastic job, also rerouting the Hell Arm once again, because like there's nothing in here. I thought that he would try to go through this forest patch, but he didn't. He then tried to attack over the open. Also, by the way, I took out the Recon BMP-1, the East German ones, because you see they cost 45 points. That's the same as the Soviet one, just that the Soviet one has smoke and the FOB ATGM. So those are just an absolute scam. Like, if they would have had smoke, they would be fine, but without smoke, they just shit. And he finally surrenders, and you can see that it KD also very much in my favor. So I can tell you now that the matchup is definitely not good for 4th Mot-Schützen. It's not a good counter pick. Maybe if you go even more aggressive early game, but I don't even know what you would use then. Use more air? Yeah, but then you just die to the air casino or the AA casino of the SAS that they will win most of the time. Yeah, I don't know. Phantom killing off both MiG-21s was definitely nice, and then you can see SAS performing very well, killing several planes and infantry units. I mean, okay, this one didn't do a lot, but those 2 performed very well. Warrior performed very good. Lynx rockets also just killing so much infantry. Don't know why he couldn't get rid of them earlier, because he should have like good enough helicopter AA with the Strelas and like 2Ms instead of 10Ms, but I guess they were just out of position a lot of the time. And the Lynx also have the big advantage that they have 6 HP, so they survive one hit, if it's not a crit, at least. Air Mobile also just such a good infantry squad. I think I didn't even get to use the Air Mobile Pioneers, so maybe I called them in somewhere, but I didn't do a lot. Air Mobile Pioneers also just an absolute. They absolutely shred everything. 2 Foxes in the backline. Such a good play. Like, they worked so well. Killing a coup is already giga value, and then all the other stuff here. Just also slowing down his reinforcements gave me a really good room to breathe. Warrior here getting a lot of kills as well. Very nice. And other than that, I don't think there were like any units that performed exceptionally well. The House has got some kills, but it didn't do a lot actually, because he was able to move out of the danger zone most of the time before the shots hit. Toad Howitzers also didn't do a lot. Yeah, but I mean, they also came in very late. And on his side, yeah, the Solo 2M here actually did very well, getting 3 helicopters, so that's nice. But yeah, he just wasn't able to kill off the other key units that I had. 1 SAS. Yeah, that's the only one that died, I think. I also had 1 SAS left that I didn't use for the rest of the match because I just forgot about it. But yeah, second UK is very, very strong. Don't let yourself be gaslit by people like Hippie that say UK stuff is no, just like no. First Armored is a decent division, and second UK is like, after VDV and 5E, one of the most broken divisions in the game. It's absolutely cracked. So yeah, I was happy that he let me play it. And next one will be the second game. Next video will be the second game against Blitz. So be hyped for that. I will tell you which map we played on, but I forgot. Yeah, so I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, have a beautiful day, and bye bye.